Hi friends, welcome to Invited Back with Sabbath Kapahu. Whether this is your first time listening to the podcast or you've been journeying with me for a few months now, I want to say thank you so much for being here and sharing this space of solidarity. I truly believe with my whole heart that there is sacred space when we share our stories together and remind each other that we are never alone and we're not the only one going through whatever it is life is bringing on our plate. So I pray that at the end of these few minutes together, you've been encouraged and you've been reminded and you feel solidarity along the journey. Today I'm going to talk about marriage. It just so happens to be my 11th wedding anniversary today. Now, by the time you're listening to this, it probably will have passed. But I got to tell you, there are some times that I didn't think we'd make it to 11 years, and it is by the grace and love of God that we have made it this far. I'm going to tell you a story. A couple months before our wedding, my fiancé, who's my husband now, but my fiance at the time, asked if we should push our date back a bit. Now, I had just barely broken into my 20s, so you can imagine all the emotions that came flooding into my mind and heart, even at the utter words of that question. I thought I knew what I wanted. I mean, what God wanted. I thought I knew about the foundations of love and marriage. And the thing about my husband, if you know him, you know this. He means what he says. So he told me exactly what he would need. He told me exactly what I was getting into. And then he kindly asked me if I needed more time. And I said no. And it wasn't just a simple no. We had been in counseling with our mentors and pre-marriage counseling with them, people we walked very closely with through a bunch of different aspects of life. And we continue to walk with them through life. And we're so deeply thankful for their friendship and their leadership and their prayers and their words that had been spoken into our marriage since before we were married and even to this day. So it wasn't I just said, no, I don't need more time. I talked about it. I prayed about it. We talked about it, the four of us, and we decided, is this what God is saying? And at the end of the day, we said yes. And we got married. And I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. I thought I knew what I wanted. I thought I knew what the Lord wanted me to do. I thought I knew about love and marriage and what makes the foundations of a relationship. But I was wrong. And the reality is that I don't know if anyone is ever really ready. I mean, how can you be ready for two sinful, stubborn, selfish individuals who have been living their own lives up until they weren't, and then they come together, and then you have a home. You can talk to a lot of people, and you can prepare for a lot of different scenarios. And we can pray for everything that we can think of that comes to our heart and mind. And we need to do those things. But the reality is that we can't prepare for the day in and day out until we are in the middle of the day in and the day out. And the reality of what it takes to become this one, this two becoming one, is time. It takes so much time. It does not happen overnight. It takes humility to love well, tons of humility. It takes surrender and forgiveness and joy and work, a lot of work. And if there's anything that I've learned over the last 11 years, it's that once we think we've got a rhythm going, something unexpected is going to happen, and it's going to force us to completely relearn what we thought we knew. And we will begin building a new rhythm again. And we always have to be willing to build again. When we are thinking, about marriage as teenagers and as young adults, and you're thinking about this one person that I'm going to get married to, and I'm going to be with them for the rest of my life. It's going to be me and you together forever. And then you get married. And then you realize, actually, it's me and you until death do us part. And that is but a blink of an eye to the Lord. And that means that the work we are doing in marriage is so much more than just about us. And that is my encouragement to you and my heart today. The work that we do in our marriages is so much more than just about us. I know it is not easy. I know that the day in and the day out, and the day in and the day out can get intense. There are high highs and there are low lows, and sometimes those lows feel so unseen. But you are not alone. So my prayer for my marriage and your marriage and any of those who are thinking about getting married is that you continue to rest and sit in God's love. That is what keeps us together. That is what keeps us moving forward, continually being transformed, learning and loving together. That is the love that lasts forever. And we can be sure of that. Until next time, friends. Aloha.